Alright guys, in this video we're going to be introducing and talking about the FOIL method. Now the FOIL method in mathematics is a systematic approach to taking two binomial expressions and multiplying and expanding them into one large polynomial. Now remember, a binomial expression is something like x plus 2. However, if I had something directly next to it but within parentheses, like x plus 4, I'm going to be multiplying and expanding these two binomial expressions. Now I know I'm going to be multiplying because there's no plus or subtraction sign that separates them, making them two separated binomial terms. So I'm going to be expanding this. There's two ways that you can definitely do this. The first is your general distributive property. There's no law against it and it's perfectly proficient. You would just take x and distribute it through first, and then you would take 2 and then distribute it through. So showing you how that would be, it'd be x times x, which is x squared. We have x times positive 4, which is plus 4x. Now we're going to distribute through the 2, which is positive 2 times x, which is 2x. And then a positive 2 times a positive 4, which is positive 8. However, there's a much easier and cleaner and systematic way that we can definitely approach this, and this is what the FOIL method does for us. So this acronym, F.O.I.L, stands for the 4 steps that you're going to take to expand the binomial expressions. So here are the 4 steps. The F stands for first, the O stands for outer, the I stands for inner, and the L stands for last. Now before we go ahead and expand these out, I'm going to show you exactly what each of those parts means. So the first, it basically is what it sounds like. It's the first part of your binomial expression. So if you have a plus b, a minus b as an example, your first are going to be the first parts of your binomial expression. Let's look at the next one. I'll change colors. O is for outer. So with outer, it's going to be the outer parts of the binomial expression. Okay. And again, this is all multiplication. For inner, it's going to be the inner parts. Of the binomial expressions. Okay. And then last but not least, last is going to be the last parts of the binomial expressions. Okay, it's going to be connected here. Alright, and again, so just to recap, the first are your first parts of your binomial expressions. The outer is the most outer parts by the ends of the parentheses. The inner is going to be the most closest to the inside of the parentheses. And then the last is going to be the last of the two end terms of your binomial expressions. So taking those into account, let's do a couple examples of FOIL. So I'm going to leave our polynomial that we have here up just to show you how the FOIL method will still give us the same answer. And again, it's just a more systematic and cleaner way. So we have first, so we're going to take our first two parts of our binomial expression. So we have positive x and positive x, which is a x squared. Next we have the outer, which is plus x times positive 4x, which is plus 4x. Next we have the inner, which is the inner parts of the binomial expressions, which is positive 2 times a positive x, which is plus 2x. And then last but not least, we have the last, which is the last parts of our expression. So positive 2 and positive 4 is positive 8. So as you see, it still works the same way as distributive property. Now, very important at this step, the most important thing to do is combine your like terms. Remember, like terms are anything with the same variables, and those variables are to the same exponent. Now remember here, with these 4x and 2x, if a variable doesn't have an exponent, infer it as 1, and feel free to put that there as housekeeping and keeping things organized. So we have x squared, and there's nothing else in here that's a like term of x squared. But in the middle we have plus 4x plus 2x, and when we add those together we're going to get plus 6x, and again that's still to the first power, and then plus 8. And then just as your final answer, go ahead and remove the first power just because it is inferred. So our final answer is x squared plus 6x plus 8. Okay. Let's look at another example. Let's look at x minus 2x plus 8. Now, one thing to keep in mind when using the FOIL method and distributive property, you are multiplying not only the value or the variable, you're also multiplying the sign with it. So, keeping that in mind for first, it's going to be a positive x times a positive x. And again, if those signs aren't there, even though it's inferred addition or a positive value, go ahead and put the plus signs there. So positive x times positive x is x squared. Next we have outer, positive x times positive 8, which is positive 8x. Next we have the inner, negative 2 times a positive x is a negative 2x, or a minus 2x. Then last parts of the binomial expression, negative 2 times a positive 8, that's a negative 16. So go ahead and again, combine like terms, put the ones here if they help keep things organized for you. X squared isn't going to have any like terms with it. Positive 8x minus 2x is positive 6x minus 16. Okay, and then again, this is the simplified terms in polynomial expression after combining like terms. Okay, let's look at one more. So this time it's going to be a little trickier because I'm going to put some coefficients in front of the variable. But don't let that intimidate you. We have 3x minus 2 times 2x, make this negative 2x, plus 4. Okay, again, this doesn't have a sign in front of it, so go ahead and put a plus sign there, just to keep things organized. So we have first. Now, the only difference that this one makes is that in addition to multiplying our two variables, we're going to have a coefficient greater than 1. And that's okay, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing against mathematical laws that say we can't have coefficients greater than 1 when we're using the FOIL method or distributive property. So first we're going to do positive 3x minus negative 2x. multiply your whole numbers first, then your variables. Make it nice and easy for yourself. So positive 3 minus 2 is a negative 6. X times x is negative, or x positive x squared. Sorry. So you have negative 6x squared. Now, outer is positive 3x times positive 4 is a positive 12x. Okay. Inner are going to be the inner parts of the binomial expression. So we have a negative 2 times a negative 2x. Remember, negative times a negative is a positive, so positive 4x. Okay. And then we have outer, which is negative 2, or last negative 2 times positive 4. That's going to give us minus 8. Now again, go ahead and combine like terms. So it has to be the same variables to the same power. So negative 6x squared doesn't have any other like terms. So plus 12x plus 4x, again, go ahead and put the 1s there, is going to give you a plus 16x. And then we're going to have minus 8 because it also has no more like terms. And then this again is your simplified polynomial after combining like terms. Okay. But again, guys, it's not too bad. Again, just always keep track of your signs. Make sure that you're multiplying through not only the terms themselves, but the signs that go along with it. And then just first, outer, inner, last, just a quick review of that. So your first is going to be the first parts of your terms. The outer is going to be the most outer parts of your terms. The inner is going to be the inside. And then the last is going to be, okay. Again, guys, if you have any questions, please never hesitate to contact me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope it is a help to you. And thanks for watching. Bye.